If you're in your 30s or 40s, you need to hear this. My name is Margaret Ellen Crosby. I'm 80 years old, and I've been sitting in this chair for about 20 minutes now, trying to figure out how to start this.
I don't really know why I'm recording this. My granddaughter set this up for me. She said, "Grandma, just talk." So I'm just going to talk. I want to tell you something that took me most of my life to understand. Not all of it, just most. And I'm not telling you because I think you need to hear it. I'm telling you because I don't have a lot of time left to say it, and it feels wrong to let it sit in my chest and go quiet with me. I was married for 51 years. His name was Robert. Bob, mostly. He hated when I called him Robert, said it sounded like I was angry at him, so I called him Robert every time I wanted his attention. He passed 4 years ago. April. One of those warm April days that almost feels dishonest. We met when I was 23. I was working in a fabric shop in Cincinnati. He came in to buy curtain material for his mother's kitchen. He didn't know a single thing about fabric. He held up a piece of polyester like it was something valuable, and I laughed at him. He asked me to dinner 2 days later. I said no the first time. I don't know why I said no. I was busy, I think, or I thought I was busy. I can't even remember what I thought I was doing instead. He asked again a week later, came back into the shop on a Tuesday. That time I said yes. We had a good life. I want to be honest about that. It wasn't a tragic life. It wasn't a love story that would make a movie. It was just a life full of ordinary Tuesdays. But there's something about ordinary Tuesdays that I didn't understand until I ran out of them. When Robert was alive, there were so many nights I went to bed already thinking about the next morning, what needed to be done, who needed to be called. I'd be lying there next to him and my mind would already be somewhere else, already ahead of itself. He'd put his hand on my back sometimes, just rest it there, and I'd think, okay, good night, and drift off into my list of things. I didn't know I was doing it. That's the part that's hard to explain. I didn't know I was somewhere else while I was right there. We raised 3 children. 2 of them grew up fine. 1 of them grew up harder than that, and that took years from both of us. Years of worry that felt like they were happening instead of living. I used to think that getting through things was the same as living through them. I'm not sure that's true anymore. There was an evening, I think our kids were teenagers. Robert had made dinner. He used to cook on Fridays. Nothing special, usually something with chicken. He'd set the table, lit a candle, not because it was an occasion, just because he liked it. I came home late for something, I don't even remember what, and dinner was cold and I was tired, and I said something sharp. I don't remember what I said, I just remember the way he blew the candle out. He didn't say anything, he just blew it out. And we ate in the regular kitchen light, and I was already somewhere else in my head, and I didn't think about that candle again for maybe 30 years. I thought about it at his funeral. I don't know why that was the moment. You don't get to choose what comes back to you. I just saw his hands. Someone had folded them, and I thought about that Friday, that candle, the way he'd lit it for no reason at all. And I thought, I didn't know that was love. I didn't know that's what that was. That's the thing about love when you're inside of it. It doesn't announce itself. It just keeps showing up in small ways, and you're usually looking somewhere else when it does. I was good at looking somewhere else. We had a trip once, just the 2 of us after the kids had grown. Portugal. Neither of us had ever been to Europe. Robert had saved for it for 2 years without telling me. He handed me an envelope on a Wednesday morning. Tickets, a handwritten itinerary. I cried, which surprised both of us because I wasn't much of a crier. We spent 10 days there. We got lost in Lisbon for 2 hours one afternoon, completely turned around, and instead of being frustrated, which is what I would have been in our regular life, we just sat down at a little cafe and ordered something we couldn't pronounce. I remember thinking, this is what he's always been like. On that trip, I could see it clearly, the way he moved through the world, unhurried, curious, unbothered by being lost. I married that, and most of the time I was too busy to notice it. When we came home, things went back to normal within a week. I don't say that as a criticism of either of us. That's just what happens. Life refills itself. But something was different in me after that trip, something quieter. I started watching him more, just noticing him, the way he made his coffee, the way he laughed at the news even when it was terrible. I started coming back. I think I spent 30 years being slightly ahead of my own life, and then I spent the last 20 years of our marriage finally, slowly arriving in it. I wish I'd arrived sooner. I won't pretend otherwise. He got sick in 2017. It came fast. Some things do. In those last months, I sat with him most of the day. We didn't talk much near the end. There wasn't much to say, and there was also everything to say, and somehow both of those things were true at once. One afternoon, he looked at me and said, "We had a good time, Maggie." Just like that, like it was simple. And it was. It was simple. It just took most of my life to understand that simple is not the same as small. I'm 80 now. I live in this house that's too big for me. My daughter calls every Sunday. My granddaughter visits on random Wednesdays, which is my favorite thing. I sit in this chair a lot. I think about Robert, about Portugal, about a candle on a Friday night. I think about all the moments I was present in my body but somewhere else in my head, all those ordinary Tuesday evenings, all those ordinary, irreplaceable Tuesday evenings. I don't have advice. I want to be clear about that. I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm just an old woman who finally figured something out and wanted to say it before she ran out of time to say it. What I figured out is this. The love in your life is probably already there. It's in the small, unannounced moments. It's in the person who lights a candle for no reason at all. It's in the ordinary Tuesday next to you that you're already ahead of. I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm saying I did it, then not noticing for a long time, and when I finally stopped, what I found wasn't something new. It was what had always been there. Robert would have been 83 this June. I still set 2 cups out sometimes in the morning, old habit. Then I remember and I put one away, but for just that second, reaching for the second cup, something in me still knows where he is.
If something in this stayed with you, you're welcome to leave it in the comments. Not a response to me, just whatever it brought up for you. I'll probably read them. I have a lot of quiet time these days.